Welcome to the J-Train Podcast. J-Train, Jared Freid, coming to you live from the quarantine cabin on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We're back in New York City. That's right, baby. We're back in New York City with your emails, your stories, your questions. I say it every episode. Let me say it again. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how it works, people. You tell a friend, a coworker, a brother, a sister, a mama, a papa, anyone with ears. We'll take the earless community as well. And you let them know. And what's the best way to let them know? Make it your Instagram story. Tag a bitch. Tag a bitch, tag a bitch, tag a bitch, 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 tag a bitch, tag a bitch, tag a bitch, bitch, bitch. It doesn't have to be male or female. It can be, anyone can be a bitch. So tag someone. Let them know. Anyone can be your bitch, and you can tag them and let them know. Tag me. I can be the bitch. I'll send you a like. And listen, I want to tell you right now, Patreon is kicking. 3 extra podcasts a week for $5 a month. 3 extra podcasts a week for $5 a month. I got a message about the Patreon that was such a sweet, kind message. And it was basically like, wow, what this? They were saying this is the perfect deal. And I wish I had it in front of me to read. It wouldn't sound like I'm bullshitting you. But I'm saying they're all very different podcasts, but adjacent to this one. Luxury Lounge. I'm complaining with the listeners. People submit their luxury issues and I complain with them. It's a douchey duet. One more email, an email that's a little longer, one I wouldn't do on this show. And that's like we dim the lights down and I'm just answering the email as it goes along. And then Coffee with J-Train every Friday. That's just me. That's more, I would say that's as much like my stand-up as it gets. And so go to patreon.com/Jared Freid. The link is in the bio of this episode, or it's right at your fingertips. And to get to stand up, socially distanced, of course, that is the special. It's out there. It's on my YouTube. Go to my YouTube page, subscribe, go hit a like, make it a night, airplay it to the TV. That's how you do it. And other than that, I got road. I'm coming to your town. As of now, if I'm looking at the dates, I'm in Long Island this weekend. So go to Long Island at the Brokerage Comedy Club. That'll be fun. And, bring out that group chat, get them together. People are getting vaccinated. Things are coming back. So Long Island and Atlantic City. I'm going to be in Atlanta. That's coming up. And we got Albany. If you're out there, Albany, I'll be coming there. That should be on my website, jaredfreid.com. Very excited about today's guest. New to the podcast, hilarious comedian, Alex Babbitt. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to see you, buddy. I love your background. Where are you coming from? If you're on YouTube, you can see. What's going on back there?
It's to give you context, there's a lot of anime. I'm into anime, cartoons, all that shit. So it's my inspiration wall. Anime, comedy, like Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor's over there. Yup. A whole barbershop full of black comedians. Then we got Spider-Man.
That barbershop, sorry to interrupt you, but that's like a painting. That looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a painting that I couldn't get the actual copy, so I printed it out and just threw it on my wall.
Well, dude, I think that is what an inspiration wall is all about. Like I like that kind of hokey shit where you're like, that's a story you hope to tell on the couch of a late night show. Like, and now I own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's my rich guy goal. It took me 25 years, but now I've got it.
That's what I think that is worth commending. Like, I think sometimes we get in our heads like, I don't want to explain it. What's that thing on your wall? Well, I printed it out, the JPEG, because I would like to one day afford that. But I think that's great. And listen, what got you into anime? I always wonder, like, I'm not into anime. It's an easy punchline, I guess, for people, because I guess anything that people are interested in that's like a subculture thing, people make fun of. But what gets you into anime? What's the start of that?
I know you're not into it because you sound the way I sound when I talk about sports. What do you do? Like,
with sports, like if someone was like, I'm not into it, but how do you get into it? Like what makes you love sports? I would be like, I'm not I like listening to people talk about sports more than I like watching the games. Like I like when ownership sucks. I like when like I like storylines. That's how I look at sports. Where I'm
you
like,
watch basketball for the divorces. You just
watch
the conflict
for the trades and like it's a weird way to look at it, but that's like football to me. That's why I love football so much, because every week is its own storyline. Like the whole week leads up to a game where it's like kind of like WWE. There's this, you know, these two teams that have their whatever backgrounds, things going on. They're coming together in some sort of, battle that happens conflict that happens and we get a beginning, middle, and end to that story. So what gets you into anime?
Well, in all honesty, my man, it's the same thing. It's the exact same. I watch anime or Spider-Man or anything because it's like, all right, you get a hero, that's a protagonist. For wrestling, that's the guy you root for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're sitting there like, oh, I love their journey. And how are they gonna get to whatever their goal is? If like one goal is, because it's always some like cliche bullshit. It's always like, I want to be the greatest hero ever, and then you watch them get defeated time and time again, but still keep the dream. And you know, to tie it into like stand up, as you know, you come in with a certain level of ambition, like, I'm gonna do it. And then the game fucking kicks you in the teeth, but you still gotta keep that level of happiness you had at the beginning to keep you going, you know.
Absolutely. Like realistic delusion is kind of what you need that.
Yep. And to dress up in fucking colorful clothes and think I'm gonna save the world is the greatest version of realistic delusion ever.
So are you into like I've gotten into? I think that's the reason I'm into like the Marvel movies. Are you into those?
Yeah, that's Spider-Man there. I got some others over there. So like, yeah, man.
I mean, that's the thing
Deadpool
about
up there.
What's up there?
Deadpool.
Oh, okay. So that's all part of the Marvel universe. That's why I like Marvel, because what they did connecting all those movies, like you get to follow along for more than just the movie. Like I've been watching Falcon Winter Soldier. Like that story. Like those are two characters that I was like, all right, let's see what they're doing now. But now I'm like a fan now.
Yeah, you're sitting there. Wow, Falcon's poor. Like they didn't. Like he didn't even know his financial status until now. I
never thought of a Marvel superhero's finances until that scene. And for those listening, there's a scene where where Falcon goes to get a loan for his family business, and it's like, and it's heartbreaking. You're like, he just saved the fucking world. He should have. Yeah. You should have millions. So listen, Alex Babbitt is here. I want everyone to go follow at Mr. Babbitt on Instagram. Go follow right now because he has an album coming out at the end of the month. And we've done this before. I've kind of held people's hands through the album process. You can listen to an album anywhere you stream music. My Socially Distanced, of course, is an album. You can find that right now on Spotify, Apple Music, and Alex is going to have one coming out. So what you need to do right now is go follow him on Instagram because it's going to come out April 30th at Mr. Babbitt, 2 B's, 2 T's, at Mr. Babbitt. And it's called 9421. Why everyone has to choose a title.
Yep.
Why is it 9421? Explain that. I'm sure it's the best joke on the special, and that's why you called it that.
You know what? It's not.
Okay.
Nah, man. So something you can't tell by my wall, but if you know me personally, you know I'm a very big like R&B fan. Like I love music, and a lot of like what I do is inspired. Like a lot of my creativity is inspired by music more so than comedy. I'm just a comedian. You know what I mean? So I grew up with one of my favorite artists is Usher, and one of my favorite albums from him was this album called 8701.
Okay.
So every comedy album that I've done that I put out is gonna be inspired by like an album cover of music that I like. So that one, when you see the album cover and if you watch Usher's 8701, I'm completely making fun of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a personal tie-in for me.
It's a look that so what do the numbers mean? 9421.
94.
I hope it's not your like bank code. Like
no. Nah, 94 is the year I was born, and 21 is the year it's coming out.
Well, I love it. Everyone go follow Alex Babbitt on Instagram. You're a big for those that are gonna go follow you, you're a big Instagram live guy.
Yeah, man.
What? And I think we all, everyone listening has their version of, that guy's a big Instagram live guy. What do you, and I've never asked you this, but I'm going to ask you on the air, and I hope people go follow you because Alex is hilarious, at Mr. Babbitt. But what are you doing going live every day? Because I don't watch. I need to know what you're doing.
You want to know the truth, man?
Yeah.
I don't know if your fans are like clean cut people or not. I have a group of fans that I've cultivated throughout the pandemic called the Misfits. These are my fans. They're just a bunch of fucking weirdos. So sometimes it gets reckless. They want to talk about what they want to talk about. Sometimes people twerk on it. Like, it gets really, really fun.
So listen, if you follow Alex, know when you see that drop down, there's something weird going on and you might want to go check it out. Maybe someone here will become a misfit. Yes,
become a fuck, because it's for the people that, like, you know, just felt weird during the pandemic. Like, I got a fan that, like, he's in a wheelchair and, you know, he's just like, yo, I come to your live to fucking make fun of people because it makes me feel good. I'm like, good job, bro. I love that shit.
Love it. So everyone go check out at Mr. Babbitt on Instagram. Let's do some emails. You ready?
I'm ready. What? Can I say one thing real quick?
Please.
Emails. I have to fucking on record say your special was fucking fantastic. I wasn't gonna let you blow past that shit.
Listen, I appreciate it.
Great.
Thank you. That means a lot. And we all, especially, and I'll tell the listeners this, from a comic, that means a lot because we see a lot of shit and we turn our brains off and go, oh, fuck it, it's the same thing. So that means a lot to hear. I really appreciate that. So, yeah, and if anyone's listening right now, it came out on Spotify and Apple Music, so we made it into an album as well. So if you're not the YouTube type, go stream it or go subscribe to me on any of those platforms. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. How to get over ghosting in a relationship. Are you in a relationship? What's your deal right now?
Yes, so I've been with my lady, to give real context. Me and my lady been together since high school. We've been together for about 10 years.
Wow. So straight through, were there ever any breakups?
Like a day. Like in the first half of our relationship, because I was battling, because I was young and I'm still in that. So I always battled with, am I being too mature? Dumb shit. So every once in a while I would have you know what happened? It would come after a good show. I would have a good show and then call my girl and break up with her. Real toxic.
Oh no.
Real toxic.
That's horrible. How many times did that happen?
So here's what, I did it like 4 times in like the span of like 2 months, but I would break up and then realize I didn't like anybody else. And I would just call her back and be like, you know what, I'm actually kind of sad and I miss you.
Well, by the fourth time, she was probably like, yeah, sure, we're broken up. I'll talk to you in 2 hours.
Yeah. She's like, she got the drill. She's like, you're not fucking going anywhere. Because I know.
So do you live together?
Yes, we live together now.
That's great. And in high school, how do you meet? Like, what's your meetings? Like, listen, people will look down on a high school relationship, but I don't think any relationship that lasts should be looked down on. Like, I think like that's like, if it's lasting, it worked. What in high school, like, and it's got to be cool to like grow up together. That's got to feel family, I would assume.
Yeah, it has its pros and cons, man. It's
like anything.
It's like, I don't have to teach anybody my personality. Like she's seen it develop. You know what I mean? The con though is I can't really get away with shit because like what dudes try to do when they're trying to get away with something is they do something fucked up and they say, you know, it's a part of me you just don't know from my past. I don't have a past to blame it on. So she's just like, whenever I do something fucked up, when did you learn this skill? When did this, like, you know what I mean?
When did I turn around for 5 minutes for you to learn how to break up with me after a show?
Who were you with? Who gave you this knowledge?
So you've never ghosted, but you can understand how the ghosting mentality works. I've ghosted, and it's not a great thing.
So here's what, I've never ghosted, but in my, you know, I haven't been perfect in my relationship. So I never want to like be that guy neither to just come on here and like, everything's been fucking perfect. No, I've like ventured out, like getting girls' numbers and this, that, and the third. And I've been ghosted once they go to my Instagram account. So once you see all my family photos, they're like, I can't be here. And then, you know what, I respect that from them. Like it would hurt in the moment. Like, come on, you don't like me? And it's like, no, I just have a family, and that was a blessing to leave my life.
So let's go. How to get over ghosting a relationship. Feather. My ex and I had a tumultuous relationship, to say the least. We were on and off again for almost 2 years, and the latest on was for not even 3 months at the beginning of quarantine last year. It ended with him coming to visit me for a weekend. We lived 4 hours apart at the time, and we had a tiff that I thought was resolved by the time we went to bed. I woke up to find that he had left in the middle of the night. Oh my God, this is like a real ghosting. Leaving a note about how he couldn't be the person I deserved.
What the
and
fuck?
Text messages promising that we would talk in person. He proceeded to ghost me when I tried to set up a call in-person conversation. Call or / in-person conversation, simply never respond to any of my text messages, practically begging him for closure. I haven't heard from him since he left that night. I'm now in a happy relationship with a great guy, but I can't help but still feel fucking angry about my ex ghosting me like that. It's not that I want him back or even miss him. It was clearly a bad relationship and was unhealthy and destined to end. However, I hate that this situation still takes up space in my brain, especially when I'm happy with someone else. How do you go on without closure? Mr. Babbitt, what do we think?
Yeah, that was very deep from the dude fucking writing this mysterious ass letter, disappeared. It's very like 1940 shit. I don't trust that part of the dude. Like,
yeah, I mean, that is something like in this day and age, like, I bid you adieu,
yeah.
lady. Like, it's not.
I cannot henceforth be the man that you deserve. What? Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, what I don't understand from her email, and like, she says she's in a happy relationship now. To me, sure, okay. I think things are going well for you now, but you're still thinking of this guy, and you were on again, off again. Like, and it's like, what is the closure? I don't know what she means. Like to me, when people deal in these vague terms, like I need closure, and then you go, okay, what are the questions you have? Like, what will give you closure? Like, I think sometimes people are looking for other people to direct their feelings, and those people aren't going to do it. I can tell you this person's not going to do it because he wrote you a letter that said he can't be the person you deserve. That's a lie in itself.
Yeah.
He's just trying to put a marketing campaign that is on this ending that is, I don't want to be with you forever. And that's okay.
Yes. I hear that as well. And from her stance, and wonder, if you're genuinely enjoying yourself, what about this dude that you're trying to get this so-called closure from, that like you keep going toward? Like, what is it that you really like? Because there's something that she likes in the other dude that doesn't want her. There's something that she likes in him that she's maybe like trying to get her recent man. Because I feel like as a dude, if you're with your woman and she's still thinking about this other guy, there's something that she wants from him.
Well, I would say, I think there's also the idea, and like, because she says, I had a tumultuous relationship, to say the least, we're on again, off again for almost 2 years. Yeah. It's like, when you're on again, off again, it's like, why can't I figure this out? Why can't we work? You keep coming back to me, but we can't work. Why? What is the puzzle piece? She thinks it's something to be solved. It's not something to be solved. You didn't come back together. And I think this is the misconceptions, that they came back together because, we're so good together. No, you came back together because you were lonely. Yep. You came back together because it was easy. You were 4 hours away, so that meant you could be a girlfriend on a schedule, so he could be good for whatever amount of hours he had to be good with you, and then be a single person when he left 4 hours away. So you have to realize that this wasn't not happening because of fate or whatever. It's not happening because you guys aren't the match. And so, like, as far as like, how do you go on without closure? We're giving you the closure. I'm giving it to you right now. It didn't work.
Yeah, go get the fuck out of there, man. You're already out of there, so just accept the fact, like, it's not gonna, and it's okay for it not to work. I think that's something I've come to learn from being around people who haven't been in long relationships. Is they think every move is supposed to be like the right move. You can learn from your losses. Take the fucking L.
That's a huge deal. Yeah, and it's like, how do you go on without closure? I would also say, here's what I would do. Yeah. Let's write down the answers that you would hear. Like, I would write down, here, the questions you would ask for closure. What are those questions? Write them down. Okay? Write them down. Mm-hmm. Let's say, if you can't even think of one of the questions, then you don't even know what you're fucking asking.
You don't know.
Then you don't even know.
Fucking you. What do you want? Another letter that says, "Here was the closure that I can't give you in person."
Vague questions get you vague answers. So when she says, "How do you go on without closure?" That is the most vague sentence I've ever read. I don't know. So you need to get more specific. Why did you leave me? Why did we not work out? Were you just lonely when you came back to me? And then I would write out the answers that he could possibly give. Mm-hmm. Read those answers. The one that's the most honest is the one he would say to you. Not the one that's the one that would be the most, and I say I'm going to use the word hurtful, but I don't think he would mean it as hurtful. Mm-hmm. The most honest answer is the answer. So if you read like, were you coming back to me because you were lonely? Yes, no, it's yes. Yes is the most honest and the answer that hurts the most. And that's the hardest part about breakups is that this guy's saying you couldn't be the person that you deserved because he's trying to lift you up and down him so that you won't come back to him. You'll go to someone else that is better.
And think about it. Something that I'd like to share for her in particular, just for the woman who asked this question, is fuck him. I don't like putting things on the other person. Why do you really want this answer?
Yeah.
Ask yourself that. Why is it that important to you? And if you realize it's because of some other underlying thing, solve that, because this scenario will happen over and over again until you figure out what is it within your life that makes you this way.
And we're not professionals, but that's a question for a professional. That's a question for, like, maybe you go get therapy. Maybe you talk to someone and go, hey, why is this still bothering me? Because like the idea that like, here's the other thing, and we'll get to the next email, but like to add on to that, like we can only speak to the email. We can't speak to him. So you have to ask yourself, like, what does this mean to me? Like, what is, and if I don't know, what am I even, the closure thing, it's just so what I'm trying to get at is no one else can solve, the idea that this guy that you dated that left a note in the middle of the night and ghosted is going to give you an answer that's going to solve. Oh, I get it now.
Why do you think that, man? Tell me.
But he doesn't know. So no one else is going to tell you how to emotionally feel. You can't find that through someone else.
The J Train podcast is brought to you by Chime. Ooh, listen, people, there's nothing worse than banking overdraft fees. Nothing worse. It is because you feel like it's something you could have avoided. It's just something you don't, you're like, but you're put in a pinch, and that's what happens. And then you end up paying more for your own money, and it's not fun. Your bank shouldn't work against you. Enter Chime, an award-winning app and debit card with no hidden fees or monthly minimums. It's your money. You should keep it. Chime has some great features like fee-free overdraft on up to $100 in debit purchases with SpotMe. It's like overdraft protection, but better. I love that. Get your paycheck, benefits, stimulus check, and tax return up to 2 days earlier with direct deposit. No hidden fees or monthly minimums, plus 38,000 fee-free ATMs with MoneyPass and Visa Plus Alliance. It has security. Turn on alerts to let you know when your card is used and instantly block your card if something seems fishy. And save on autopilot. When you sign up for a Chime spending account, you can enroll in an optional savings account and grow your savings automatically with 0.50% annual percentage yield, 10 times the national average. Join the millions on Chime. Sign up takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Apply now at chime.com/JTrain. That's chime.com/JTrain. And here's the fine print. Chime is a financial technology company. Banking services provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Overdraft only applies to debit card purchases. Limits start at $20 and may be increased up to $100 by Chime. Early direct deposit depends on the payer. Out-of-network cash withdrawal fees apply. Third-party and cash deposit fees may apply. Go to chime.com/JTrain for details and apply today.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Alex Babbitt at Mr. Babbitt. Go, go, go. Go follow the album 9421 coming out at the end of the month. Go, go, go. This one's called To Hit on the Barista or Not. Ooh. Feather, love the podcast. I have a hopefully more lighthearted email for today. So let's get into it. For the past few months, I have regularly been going to a local coffee shop. There's one barista there who I find cute, and I feel like there's a flirty air between us. On top of the usual small talk and jokes, he will sometimes make eyes at me from across the counter, or at least I think so. Masks make it hard to read facial expressions. Yeah, that is a little weird. Like you're like, all you just see is it's like,
everybody looks like me now. That's fucking great.
It's true, and will occasionally give me free baked goods to show appreciation. She put in quotes. Yeah, this guy's into it.
Yeah,
For being a regular, and she puts in parentheses his words. So my question is twofold. First, should I even make a move? I know this can be tricky because there is a good chance he's just doing his job and I could be misreading the situation. Well, let's start with the first one. Should she make a move?
Absolutely. Hands down. I used to be a preschool teacher, man. And a sign that I knew a parent liked me was when they would bring me things. Like that's what I do. I had a baked goods. I had a parent bring me baked. She was like a cook or something and would bring me shit. I was like, oh, this parent likes me. I'm gonna make sure your kids are good.
Yes.
People don't just give you nice things just cause. Nobody does that.
And I'll say this. It's funny to me. Like, should you make a move? Absolutely. But I love her thing that she writes. I know this can be tricky because. Her because is totally different than the one I would think of. She writes, because there's a good chance he's doing his job and I could be misreading the situation. You're not misreading anything. He's going above and beyond his job. He's giving you baked goods to quote unquote show appreciation for being a regular. He's giving you status at the bakery, at the coffee shop. So you're not misreading anything.
He gave you the VIP rope at a fucking bakery. That's not everybody's thing.
Sober, high on caffeine, and that's it. So but she says, I know this can be tricky because is because, listen, you might find out that he's just a flirty guy and this is something, and I think that's something people, like, she's missing the trappings. The trappings are, because this is very cute and wholesome. The barista giving you free baked goods. This is a great story at the rehearsal dinner of a rom-com. Yeah, this is the story you want to tell. This is the story everybody wants to tell. Yep. So he might know that. He might understand that. So we have to protect ourselves, protect our feelings. So I would make sure when you do approach, which you should, and that's going to get to her second question, just know that, like, there's a lot of, like, when you have oysters, what do they say? There's an aphrodisiac. This story is an aphrodisiac. So let's be realistically delusional that, you don't know his situation. You just know he's flirting and that you like being flirted with by him. Great, at a baseline. So she writes, second, how do I even go about hitting on him? The place is paperless, so it's not like I can write my phone number on a receipt. Do I just come right out and ask him out in person? So what do you think she should do? How does she approach this guy? Because guys love to be approached, but we don't always act on the approach. So that's why I'm like, let's take it one step at a time. First step is, how does she approach in a paperless coffee shop?
Paperless. Let's see. Paperless. They don't have napkins one, just give them your cell phone. Like, stop beating around the bush. Make it quick and efficient. Hey, I love your number. Bam. That's it. Call it. Get out of there. Don't even look him in the eye.
I'm trying to think of, like, when I go to the coffee shop downstairs, I walk in, hey, how you doing? I'm a big how you doing guy.
Yeah.
So, hey, how you doing? Good. I'll have a short Americano, with a little bit of vanilla flavoring.
There's no flirt in your language right now. Like, you're not flirting.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where her in is.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes, and then I go, so then they start making it. While they're making it, especially if the coffee shop's empty, I go, how's it been lately? So I do like an open-ended, and they talk about weather. They'll talk about if it's been busy, and that's okay.
Yes.
I'm saying, how's it with this guy who has been making conversation? They have the usual small talk and tell jokes. I think she needs to get her coffee. How you been? Do anything. I would say do anything fun last weekend. That's an open-ended entree. Then he talks about his weekend. You say, hey, well, if you're ever looking to get a drink, I'd love to do that. Because I think what all of us are looking for are scripts to make these uncomfortable moments more comfortable. So it's like when you read a script, you want that line that leads you into the line instead of like, hey, I want to go out with you, please. You're cute. So that is one way to go, where you go, hey, how was your weekend? Well, if you're ever up for it, I'd love to get a drink sometime. You should take my number. You should take my number. Because now the number goes into his phone. It's not you taking, because now he has to make some effort where if he's a flirter, he's got to do this behind his girlfriend's back, or, or
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying you have to make it so he has to jump. He's got to jump over a small bar at least.
For it a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. So take my number. Yeah. And then he takes out his phone and does it. If that is too much of a ask, if that's even, because I know, listen, that's easier said than done. I would write down my number before I went to the coffee place. How was your weekend? Well, we should go get a drink sometime. Here's my number. It's already written down.
Yeah.
I don't think that's embarrassing at all because you have this prior relationship where there's flirting going on. So it's like, if he's not going to he's not going to take that paper and shove it away from himself.
No, worst, he's delayed because he's on work to respond. But I don't think in this time, what dude do you know that gets a girl's number is like, fuck this, get out of my face?
No, guys love getting a number. And listen, he may never text, and you might, go in there and be like, and then the next time you go in, maybe he brings it up, or you just leave it. At that point, go in and be as happy and nice as you were before. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Alex Babbitt. At Mr. Babbitt. Go follow. He's got the album coming out April 30th. It's called 9421. Go follow him on Instagram. Become a part of the Misfits. That's what they're going to do.
The Misfits. That's my fan base, bro. You have the greatest, back in the day, you probably would have been one of them, what's the guys for baseball who talk real quick? And it's on third. And blah, 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 blah. You have that fucking
the
voice,
commentator.
Bro. Yeah.
I just want to make sure people know where to send it so they don't DM me. Hey, what's the email for the podcast? I said it 1,000 times.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm enjoying hearing you.
Oh, I'm happy you're enjoying. Surprise parent help.
Yes.
Okay. Jared, you're the best, and that's why I've come to you. I want to throw a surprise 30th birthday party for my boyfriend in June. My plan was to take him skydiving, and his roommates would set it up. He has surprised his mom twice by flying to her in the last year. She hasn't visited him in our city, and he loves surprises. So I thought it would be the cherry on top to fly her out without telling him. When I told his friends the plan, they said they'd also want to go skydiving, so I don't think twice and ask my parents to wrangle people and set up. But that means the parents are going to meet without my boyfriend and I there, at least for the first hour. I wasn't worried about it, but I told other family members, and they said that could paint him in a corner because he's not in control of their meeting, there at the meeting. We will have been together for 2 years at that point, and it seems like a pretty ridiculous thing to panic about. But alas, that's why I've come to you. Should I ask his mom if she's comfortable with the situation? Should I tell him about the party but still plan it for him? I've never done anything like this, and I'm excited, so I don't want to let one speed bump ruin the whole thing. So she writes, thank you so much, wasn't worried, but now I am. So I understand why she's worried.
Yeah.
Because other people say things, and it's just other people showing you their insecurities about their own relationships. But what do you think, Alex Babbitt? What do you think about this situation?
Yeah, man. One, I would say kudos to the fucking lady of the year. It's been a year technically. It'll be 2 years coming up.
It'll be 2 years in June. And in her mind, she's like, I want to send him skydiving on a surprise and then have his parents show up, but she's going to get her parents involved, which is all like, this is all very sweet and nice. Like, I always think of these things where it's like, I always think of these things, and I understand her friends are like, don't you think he would want to be control? And I'm sure that feels like very, that feels female to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you're trying not to say bitchy?
No, not bitchy. I would never say bitchy. I would just say, I understand like where it's like the scene. You ever watch The Office?
Yes.
You know, when Jim buys his house from his parents without telling Pam?
Yeah.
Like, there's a big reaction to that where it's like, who buys a house for their wife without letting them know? Like, and where a lot of guys would go, oh my God, I'm so happy I didn't have to make this decision. Like, I'm just like, there's an area.
I'd love to go skydiving. And that's what, because that's all I hear. So one, if her, like his mom is like a cool individual, like a cool person, human being wise, she'll be happy that some girl is doing some nice shit for her son. Because that's all that sounds like. And as a dude, like you just said, we don't care that much. Like for me, I just don't like taking days off. But if this guy already likes surprises, fun shit, she's gonna love this. Like
absolutely. If that is a person. No, the fact that she wrote he loves surprises. That's why it's like game on.
Yeah, it's all like my lady took me to Thailand and I was frustrated because I was just like, I don't fucking want to leave. Fuck that, blah, 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 blah. The minute I got there, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm so glad you did this.
This is another part about it is like her relationship with the mom is good enough to call her and let her know about this skydiving surprise thing.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then then you can also, if your relationship is good enough to say, hey, I want to fly you out as a surprise to my boyfriend for his, 30th birthday. And then your relationship is also good enough to be, and I'd like my parents to come. I hope that's okay with you because they've been wanting to meet you anyways. Yeah. And I would say that to the mom, and then the mom will go, oh my God, I can't wait. This is so much fun. Yeah. Now, and then you go to your parents and you say, hey, I'm going to have to leave you guys to your own thing for a couple hours before. And they're grown people. They're adults. Yeah. They'll be okay. And
they're not 5.
They're not 5. And then your boyfriend's going to walk in and actually this takes a lot of pressure. Now your boyfriend, they've already met. He walks into the bed is made. Everything's set up. I think this is great. I wouldn't, and I understand I think a lot of the advice she's getting are from women in her life being like, well, I would want the perfect, the perfect eyeliner on. And that I can understand that's not a very feminist way to look at this, but I just know that like I've gotten that response from women in my life where it's like, oh, I'm not like, you can't just throw me into a parent situation. It's like, I think he will receive it better than like, I wouldn't feel that way. If I was like, everyone's here. I love surprises. My mom and dad have already met your parents. We're good to go. Like,
everybody I like is here too. How dare you? No, like no one. And advice I would just share, and this is just from personal experience. Within your relationship, you got to trust what you know about your circumstance. Fuck every other thought. Like at the end of the day, it's you making the judgment call. You got to do that.
And this is the other thing. If he gets mad, which we both agree, it doesn't seem like you will. I always lean on like, my intent was pure. My intent was like if there was a jury set up and they were like, how do you explain yourself? And I was like, well, I love my boyfriend. I love his family. He loves surprises. My family loves him. I wanted us all to be together with this fun skydiving element and his friends. I don't think anyone looks at you and goes, how could you?
No, there's not even a selfish thing in there.
No, it's the most selfless thing. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com, JTrain Podcast at gmail.com, here with Alex Babbitt at Mr. Babbitt on Instagram. Go follow. Old work crush liked my month-old couple photo. J-Train, thanks as always for everything you do. My boyfriend and I watched your special when it premiered and loved it. Thank you. While in college, I worked for 2.5 years as a member of a small team at a research center. My work area was next to one of the full-time employees' offices, so we ended up chatting and laughing a lot during my shifts. He's a handsome guy, about 5 years older than me, and since we were both seeing other people at the time and I was working in a student role, it never went beyond friendship. Though, I'll be honest, big work crush. Okay. He once drove me to an event we were both going to with our significant others, but beyond that, we really didn't spend much time outside of work together. It's been a year or so since I left this job, and he has since broken up with his then girlfriend. Since we follow each other on social, I'll occasionally reply to an Insta story, reach out with a job posting I think he might know someone for, etc. He'll reply enthusiastically, but it doesn't usually become a long conversation. About a week ago, end of March, he liked my latest Instagram post, which is a photo of me and my boyfriend that was posted on Valentine's Day. I'm really confused by this. Was it just a mistake? Obviously, it means he has gone directly to my page, but why? I haven't responded to a story of his in a while, so I don't think it was a "you have a boyfriend, stop replying to my stories" message. So I don't think it was a "you have a boyfriend, stop replying to my stories" message. No, I don't think that either. Any insight? Any thoughts, Mr. Babbitt?
No, there's a couple things I'm hearing from her.
Mm-hmm.
One, it sounds like she's definitely still likes this guy and was hoping he shot his shot. That's what it sounds. It sounds like she was like, "Come on, let him flirt with me," and he never did. So she's kind of upset about it.
Well, it is interesting that it's on her mind. And listen, nobody can tell you how to feel or think. And listen, we all notice. Let me let her know, because I don't think she's a villain in this for wanting to know. No. We all see a like that isn't in our regular like stream.
The norm.
Yeah, we know the out of the normal likes. We know when they come. And she's saying end of March, so that means the Valentine's Day post that he liked was from more than a month ago.
Yeah.
So he had to have been, it didn't just come on his feed. So this was an active pursuit of her page, which she is saying in her email. She's already said this. So it is an active like. It is and
scrolling.
She's wondering. So do you have any thoughts on why he would do such a thing?
You know what? He might have been looking like, you know what, she is cute. He might have been thinking about shooting his shot. You know what I mean? But then saw that and was like, all right, let me get out of here. Let me just like that to stop myself. You know what I mean? Or it was him being like, I don't know if she's told this guy that she was in a relationship. I don't know if he knew this. So maybe he discovered it and was like, oh, okay, I'll wait my turn.
He knew. I think, here's the thing.
You think he's playing the long game, bro?
I think that's what he's doing. I think this guy's out of a relationship. He's lonely. He's going through the Rolodex of people he always thought were cute. She said, big work crush. I'm sure that
he felt the same way.
He felt whatever she was feeling, he was feeling. We're not that different. We're all 10% away from each other. We know a vibe, just like the barista before. He knows what he's doing. So I think this is one of those things I would say my insight on this is like, hey, I hate giving this perspective because I know my words can get taken out of context. I think this is him saying, I'm here, I'm attracted, just letting you know. Like, to me. But it's no more than that. He's not saying, run away with me. Like, I think like that's like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the laziest form of, hey, just letting you know I'm here, because he can never get turned down from it. It's not the barista situation where the guy never texts you back. He sends a like, and he can always live in the land of ignorant bliss of, oh, I just wanted to like. I love you're in a relationship. You're someone I support.
I love the background in you guys' photo. He could just be real.
Yeah. It's just letting him know. It's devious in the way where he's like, I'm just letting you know I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I think, for her, I don't know I can't tell her how to feel about that. Like, if she's like, if she leaves her relationship to be with this, to like then like reach out to him, you're doing all the work. It's not like, so just know that your boyfriend that's with you has taken on a relationship as a responsibility. And there's so much to be envied about that and so much great things about that. If you're in this relationship being like, I don't know if this is the one, well, there's this guy's going to be waiting out there for you. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, he's saying I'm
on the roster. Yeah, and that doesn't mean he's going to be as good a boyfriend as your one that you currently have. He might be a fun night. He might not even be that. He might just keep liking shit and never go out with you. So I'm like, I'm giving you insight, and I think like a lot of men operate in this laziness zone of like, there's a lot of lazy ways to flirt these days. And this guy, you're not in his office anymore, and you respond to his Instagram stories. He thinks you're cute, so he threw a like just to let you know. Hello.
Shoot, if she really want to be adventurous, I always err towards shooting your shot. Hit him up. See what it really is about.
Oh, even while she's in a relationship?
Hey man, it sounds like she's still kind of, because if I'm not mistaken, it's not like a long relationship. Here's
the problem. Right? Here's the problem with that.
Okay.
It seems like it is a long relationship, but I would say my issue with that is the problem with this stuff, when someone sends like a like, I call it tapping on the window. When someone sends like 10 likes of your
hello,
I'm here. But it's so the problem with it is like, let's see her message to him is like, hey, that was a random like a couple weeks ago on that contact. He knows he has her. He knows. And it's like, and it's like, I don't think, and I'm not saying I don't like that power play shit, but like, I'm just saying he's in a position where you came to him. His like wasn't going to you. Like, to me, shooting your shot is going up to the barista. This is like rolling the ball into the basketball court and then shutting the door behind you and going, oh, if someone asks me to come play, then I'll be like, oh, there was basketball here?
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so yeah. I think we have to distinguish between those two things in a lot of this internet shit.
Yeah, and you know what I will say to your fan base, it's very different when women direct it. You know what I mean?
And it's because,
that's like a different power trip, because I don't see any dude that like gets chosen in that way that appreciates it the way, like, you know what I mean? Because dudes are used to hunting, so we're used to like shooting our shot. So when the woman leads it, especially from an Instagram DM like that, it's like, how do you not take advantage of that situation and just be a good person?
It's very difficult. These are the kind of the ickiness of life. You're like, yeah, the guy who wants to be the hunter has been told, approach women. And then someone comes to them and is like, did you like my post? He's like, oh, can't give this one up. I'm just going to message with her because this is a free.
Came to me.
Yeah, it's free dopamine hit at a minimum.
Yeah.
The J Train podcast is brought to you by Roman. Ooh, it is so easy to just ignore things, just in life. Oh, my elbow hurts. I'll worry about it another day. They'll go away when I go to sleep. Oh, ED. Oh, it was just a bad time in bed. I was nervous. Oh, I had a little too much whiskey. It's easy to take care of ED now with GetRoman.com/JTrain. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman will ship to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/JTrain and complete an online visit. Erectile dysfunction used to be tough to tackle, but now there's Roman. Complete an online visit today to connect with a healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/JTrain now. You'll get $15 off your first month. It's time to take care of your ED. Get started today and you'll save $15 on your first order. That's GetRoman.com/JTrain. And remember, get started today and you'll save $15 on your first order of ED treatment. GetRoman.com/JTrain. The J-Train podcast is brought to you by Liquid Death. I love Liquid Death. It's water in a tall boy. The can is cool. It looks like you're chugging a huge beer, but it's really just spring water, and it comes in sparkling as well. And you know what I like about it? Is that you're getting more water into your system, which is usually a task. All of us want that. All of us want to be healthier. This is a fun way to do it. And you can crack a Liquid Death anywhere, everywhere, and just have fun with it. You can toss it to your buddy across the party. And their whole thing is they're just trying to get rid of plastic water bottles. It's death to plastic. So what they want to do is have it in a tall boy can that you can recycle afterwards, and that is fantastic, and you get to look cool doing it. I love Liquid Death, and you can get it at 7-Eleven across this great nation. Just get in your car now, buy a case, 2 cases, 3 cases, stock up, and it's such a fun thing to have at a party, to toss to your boys, to toss to the girls. And people, you got to go to their Instagram, Liquid Death. It's just fun. They got cool designs, and I think right now we're just looking for ways to hang with friends, and Liquid Death is really a good way to do that. So that's right. Head to your local 7-Eleven, and it's going to be the water that looks like it's in the water section, but it's going to look like a beer. So head to your local 7-Eleven right now. Pick up some Liquid Death today.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Alex Babbitt, at Mr. Babbitt on Instagram. Go follow. Okay, I sent you an email before. Let's do it. You ready?
Oh, shit. Yeah, just tell me it. We're here.
But you got it in front of you, right?
Yes. 20 seconds and I got it in front of me.
There's screenshots and all this stuff. Okay, so we're going to do a screenshot email.
Okay,
This is called What Could Have Gone Wrong with Attachments. Okay. Jared, Feather, I'm a big fan of the pod from the TFM days. You used to get me through my shitty summer internship back in 2016. Now you get me through my full 9 to 5. Thank you. I need some help with the current situation that I'm in. I'm 25, recently single, 2.5 months, male. He's been single 2.5 months, and it's a dude coming out of a 3.5-year relationship. Recently, I started talking to a girl. She's 23 and recently graduated. So he's 25, she's 23. That I've known for about 6 years since sophomore year of college. She was my college girlfriend's best friend, and I had always thought she was attractive, but never pursued anything due to the fact that she was my girlfriend's best friend. And I knew that would never fly. We were always friendly in person and over Instagram and Snap, but never anything serious. 6 years. 2 girlfriends, and a pandemic later, I started responding to more of her stories to get the conversation flowing because I wanted to see if I could ever shoot my shot. After about 2 to 3 weeks of being in the DMs, I mustered up the courage one drunk night, to text her that I wanted to come visit the city that she lived in on a whim. Okay, let me say to this guy that he's acting a little, reading this email, he's 25, and I get this, at 25, you're not really thinking of other people's feelings as much as maybe you should. Right now, he's doing a lot of, he's like, I'll come to your city. And it's like, you're acting with a girl who is friends with someone from your past. Like, to me, you're doing a lot of things that are a little easier than maybe going for someone that is new and having to introduce yourself. Like, you're going back to old things, and you're disregarding a lot of the emotional states of a lot of people in that situation, to me. Mm-hmm. Like, because you're like, I'll come, when you say on a drunk night, I said I would come to your city, you're making a promise that, like, you're not really seeing, like, when you don't want to go, how that person's going to feel. Mm. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are selfish moves, I think.
Damn, I wouldn't go completely selfish. What I will say in terms of thinking a little for like what you're calling on, like thinking long term, right? Mm. The awkwardness that is inevitable is, let's say you do get together. Mm-hmm. Is she still friends with the old girlfriend?
Let's keep reading on. I said it seemed like a nice place, but she was the only person I knew down there. After a couple of back and forth, she said, well, since I'm single and so are you could just stay with me if you want. I travel a lot for my job, so decided to book a multi-city flight and fly into her town last weekend after being on a job site all week. She picked me up from the airport Friday night. We went back to her place, and within 45 minutes, clothes were off and the excitement began. We basically hung out, hooked up together all weekend, went out to bars. I met all of her new friends in the new city that she lives in, and everything seemed to have been going great. Sunday night, we were having some pillow talk about past relationships and hookup, what we were looking for. She knew that I had just gotten out of something pretty serious. And so I told her that I wasn't really looking for anything, but this was fun and could keep this going due to my job, allowing me to travel so much, and also being a 4-hour drive away if she ever wanted to come see me. I also made the comment that I had always thought she was attractive. I just had other girlfriends at the time. She made a comment that stuck with me, which was, I was your college girlfriend's best friend. I knew a lot more about your relationship than you may think. But here we are in bed together. Who would have thought? Let's just say I was not the best college boyfriend. Okay. Fast forward, I leave Monday morning, go back to my daily living. We are texting every day, snapping all day, and everything seems great. We keep talking about how great the weekend was, and even plan for her to come visit me in 2 weeks. The weekend passed, and everything seemed fine, and we solidified our visit to me. But all of a sudden this morning, 5 days before she was supposed to visit, I get the text attached. Okay, so let's see the text. This is, I'll be her, you be him. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ready? She writes, hi. So I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I believe it's best if we just remain friends. The other weekend was so amazing, but I feel as though we're just better as friends. I'm not looking to do long distance with anyone. And also, I recently got out of not so great long distance relationship, and I just know that you're not looking to move anytime soon, and neither am I. So it doesn't look like it wouldn't be long distance. Plus, it just makes me a little nervous that the whole time you were dating blank and blank, you were still into me. I hope this doesn't ruin our friendship, and I'm sorry, but I do believe this is best. If you are ever back in blank, though, let me know.
Yeah. Let me see. Kim, he is, I just value us. Is that us? That's him?
Next one. He's the blue. He's the blue.
Oh, he's the blue. He's the blue. He's the blue. Yes. Damn, didn't really see that coming. I kind of came into this knowing that you and I could just kind of have something super serious. I didn't see myself jumping into anything, but I truly just saw it as something I'd kind of always want to see what would happen and just have fun with it. That was all you, and you are a fun person to be around and give us a pretty good energy and always kind of attracted to me. It was never a thing with blank or blank where I truly try and anything just attracted to you. Hold on, I'm looking at all of this. I'm trying to get it real quick.
This guy is the run-on sentence king.
Yeah, this motherfucker's long as shit, yo. That like I wouldn't want to be with him just because this fucking long ass message, yo.
Go through it. Let's keep going.
Yes. Where I truly did it, but at the end of the day, I understand, and if that's how you feel, I gotta roll with it. I had a great time last weekend and felt like we would have to have a great weekend here in Atlanta, ATL. As well. No worries.
She writes, I just value as friends too much to not tell you right away as soon as I feel something. I'm sorry. Awkward face emoji.
Hey, I get it. And I appreciate you letting me know. Okay.
So he writes, I was pretty blindsided by the text, to be honest. And even though I wasn't really looking for this to be serious, shit still hurt a tad. I am not sure what changed so drastically. One moment she's telling me I can't wait till you teach me how to play golf and see me in a couple of days. 2, I value our friendship and hit me up next time you're in my town. First off, I only went there to see her, so for me to just come back without a reason isn't happening. First off, I only went there to see her, so for me to just come back without a reason isn't happening. Oh, for him to go back to her city.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for the best, and maybe things were going a bit too fast, but it felt normal only because I had a past history with her. But also maybe there's something going on that she just isn't telling me. All I did was match her energy when it came to talking. But at the end of the day, I might just have let it go, have to let it go for now. And she comes back. And if she comes back, she comes back. And if not, I might have to cut my losses and move on. What are you and the guest thoughts on the situation? Love the pod, keep it up. So what do you think of the situation? So basically he goes to her town. They have a great weekend. And then her text, I appreciate her text. She took a long, hard thought about it. And she's like, I'm not looking for long distance. And this is something that we that only distance. I can only see in the future a future of distance. So what do you think, Alex?
Dude, hearing it, it sounds like those moments in life that everybody goes through at one point or another where it's fun. So what he kind of came in with was excitement. You're fun. You're having a good time. I know you from the past, but whatever. I'll pick you up. Let's hang out. We're getting drinks. We're doing shit. Blah 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 blah. Once that's over, so they have sex. They do all of that. Now all the novelty is gone. Now she has enough time to really think like, oh, okay. Do I want to do this? You know what I mean? So I know he's hurt, but be real, bro. You didn't really want to do it. It didn't sound like you really want to, like she said. She put the openings there. It doesn't seem like you're willing to come move here. She basically said what she wants. And if he doesn't do those things, then it's like she called it. You know what I mean? Because that's ultimately what she's saying. She's like, I do like you, but me liking you has nothing to do with the reality of the situation of you don't live here. Are you really about to drive 4 hours away every day to see me?
Listen, and and I think there's another part of her message where she says, plus it just makes me a little nervous that the whole time you were dating blank and blank. So she knew both of his exes.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
Blank and blank, you were still into me. So in addition to what you're saying, she's like, I'm not really, she's like, I had a great time. I think, like, first of all, when someone tells you they don't want in, believe them. I think Maya Angelou once said, like believe them. And
great poet.
Right, the great poet Maya Angelou said, if someone dumps you, take the dumping and go. But I would say to him, she is looking for a rental with a chance to buy. And when she says, and a rental with a chance to buy is like casual fun, but I want the opportunity for things to move forward and get serious. And I can see with you, it's not as exciting to me because we're just visiting each other. It's just us playing house. She wrote in her message, and I don't think it's an interesting thing she wrote because she's basically ending with him, but then kind of gives him this little bit of a shadiness. Plus, it just makes me a little nervous that the whole time you were dating blank and blank, you
don't trust them.
She doesn't trust that he's going to make the serious move to make her a serious, option. Because she's basically saying, and I don't agree with her perception on that. Like, I think she's living in kind of a Cinderella world if she's thinking like, you were attracted to me, but you didn't want to come be with me. And if you had liked me enough, you would have left that person and come to me.
Oh, that's what you got?
A little bit. It's just like, I don't understand why that sentence needed to be in that. If she goes, if she's like, hey, this is fun, but I don't want to do long distance. It was nice to meet you. But for her to say, when you were into me when you were with other people, that means you weren't into me enough to toss those people aside and make a move to actually date me. And now when things get convenient, I don't want to be your convenient choice. And I don't think a convenient choice can become a serious choice. So for that reason, she's stepping out. That's kind of how I see that message.
What I heard from that, genuinely, I heard more of the fear of like his, like, let's say she brings some friends around. Like maybe that's some shit he's into. Like he likes friends.
Well, so, I think he likes not, I think he to me, and again, that's why in the beginning of this email, I think he likes pursuing people that he has a lesser chance of getting turned down by. He
goes like home. He shoots in the house. He shoots in his neighborhood. He's not going outside too far.
When you're not a gorgeous man, you know.
Did he send a picture?
No, but I'm just assuming. Like, I'm not a gorgeous man. I'm Alex. You're a good looking dude, but like when I don't have the looks of someone to like just go approach a new person at the bar. Like, I understand the idea of like, okay, who do I know in my past that will be this person responds?
Remember that girl from the third grade? She was always.
What he's doing is he's using the past to prop himself up. She knows that he says he wasn't a great boyfriend in college, but she also knows that she dated her friend, so he's a safe person. That he's someone that whatever. So he's kind of using. less risk. And him going to her, there's less risk, and also there's less work to be done. So I think she's looking at this situation going, you came to my city, I had a great time, but I don't trust you to like move here. I don't really feel like moving there. Let's end it now before my emotions get ahead of me and I end up liking you. And I know that this isn't really right. And I just went through this. Again, she also referenced, she went through this. She's had the long distance and it wasn't fun for her.
You got a lot of people in here who just, once again, call it, be honest with yourself. Fuck what anybody else says.
And the other thing about this is the renting with the chance to buy. The chance to buy is what makes the casual fun. Oh, are we going to work out? Do I like this person? That's what's sexy. This has kind of been taken away from them if they can't do it here. So
yeah.
Listen, Alex Babbitt, thank you for coming on. This was fantastic.
No problem, man. I appreciate you. You're fucking goddamn star.
Dude, that is way too kind. Everyone go follow Alex Babbitt at Mr. Babbitt. 2 B's, 2 T's at Mr. Babbitt. The album comes out April 30th, 9421. Go, go, go. I'm Jared Freid. We're here Mondays and Thursdays. Keep spreading the word. Keep telling friends. We're back next week. Boom!
Don't forget to like the video you just watched. I have many more. Subscribe to the channel right now. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, you fool. There's even a bell you can click to. Now you've got your week set Monday through Friday. I'm here for you.